It's first down, Giants, close to the Eagle 48-yard line. McNeil is to the left this time. Tarkenton, great pressure from Rosevich, unloads to Fredrickson. And Tucker fumbles. And it's recovered by Herman inside the 20-yard line.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. And I just want to do like another state of the defense. Last video I did was a state of the offense after free agency and the draft. Now I want to do a little, what does the defense look like after free agency and the draft, and where might they go? You know, are they still looking for any other players at all or anything? First, we'll start off with the defensive line. You know, we have 10 guys that we get signed. All right, you know, with Patrick Graham's defense for the most part, you know. Most of all, you know, we got the edge rushers, but, you know, we're looking at the defense. We only got usually 3 guys, all right, on the field at a time. We got, you know, we have 10 signed. We only got 4 of them signed, though, for next year. I mean, one's Raymond Johnson the third. One of the other one's David Moa. You know, so, I mean, I don't even know, you know, if those 2 guys are even going to wind up seeing the field at all. The 2 big ones that we have signed, though, are Leo the Lion and Sir Dexter. You know, those are the guys we got signed now. You know, unfortunately, we did lose our captain, Dalvin Tomlinson. My dog Rainey here. You know, went to Minnesota, and we didn't replace him. We got a couple good edge rushers, but we didn't really replace Dalvin in the draft. You know, need be, you know, maybe next year, since, you know, we have all those draft picks, maybe we can, as the Giants do so often, go in the second round and pick up another defensive tackle, maybe to replace Dalvin. But we got so many guys that, you know, we're going to try to use in different packages and all. I mean, like Danny Shelton, the run stuffer. Then we got Ifeadi Odenigbo. Now, he'll be on the line. He'll also be maybe an edge rusher as well. So he's, you know, you can put him at pretty much at either position. But then you got like, you know, B.J. Hill and R.J. We got the Jays, B.J. Hill and R.J. McIntosh. This is their last year, unless we re-sign them. But, you know, they're on the roster. You know, I said Austin Johnson, we re-signed him from last year. But he's not signed for next year. We got Danny Shelton just for the 1 year. You got Nick Lalos. You know, he's not signed for next year. And you got, you know, Ifeadi Odenigbo, the defensive, you know, end/edge rusher. You know, he's just signed for this year as well, too. So, you know, hopefully as the season progresses, we might maybe extend 1 or 2 or so of these guys' contracts, because, you know, we're going to be a little thin next year if we don't. I said, or also we have, you know, the draft to look forward to. But if we ever need like a little shot in the arm or anything like that, as of right now anyway, I got like 3 guys, all right? You know, all experienced, all into the 30s, you know, but, you know, could supply some, you know, some much needed, a little firepower if needed. One is Geno Atkins, all right, he's 33, but he's an 8-time Pro Bowler. You know, wouldn't be, you know, these guys, you know, they're all, at one point in time, they're all more expensive, but since they're in their 30s, they're, you know, not be that, you know, as much as you know, like, you know, Leo the Lion costs. I mean, you got Geno Atkins, who's 33. You got Jarrell Casey, who's 31. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler. And then you got Kawan Short, all right, who's 32. Why is he important? Well, because Dave Gettleman joined the Panthers as a GM in 2013, and he drafted Kawan Short. And there were times Kawan Short was very good, very good. Well, he's still a free agent, and, you know, he's 32. I mean, you can, you know, pick him up. He wouldn't be that expensive. Not that we could, if we're going to start picking up any free agents, you know, not we can pick up too many of them. But, I mean, if he gets... You can find somebody here or there, maybe, you know, 3, 4, 5 million or so. As I said, you can't pick up too many of them, but I mean, you certainly could go out of your way, I'm sure, and pick up at least one or two. I mean, I'm sure you can always find ways to find the money, but those are three guys that I could maybe see, possibly going after. If you want a little shot in the arm, they're experienced. And at one point in time, they were very, very good. Okay, they're not somebody young that you're going to build a team around at all or whatever, but they're certainly very adequate. Let's go to the secondary. Now we got like 12 corner with the draft. All right, now getting Rodarius Williams and Aaron Robinson. We got like 12 cornerbacks now. I mean, we're pretty good. I don't know if we're going to need to go out into the market and find anybody. Between we got Bradbury, Adoree Jackson, Sam Beal, Isaac Yiadom, Darnay Holmes. We got Jarren Williams. I mean, we got Rodarius Williams. You got Aaron Robinson. You got even Julian Love and can come down and play cornerback. We got like 4 other guys. We got a lot of guys. I mean, basically, if you look at there's 3 like cornerback positions, okay, and we got 12 guys. For each position, we got like 4 guys. I mean, not that we got like 4 real good slots or 4 number 1 guys. But for each position, we got like 4 guys. So I mean, if you want to start looking at it like, well, what if this guy gets hurt, or what if this guy? I mean, you could drive yourself bananas. Well, what if all the guys get hurt? Well, I guess we need to sign another 12 players. We got a lot of guys. All right, if somebody gets hurt, it's going to happen. I mean, you can't, what if Bradbury gets hurt? Let's go out and get another number 1. I mean, if it happens, it happens. All right, but we got 12 cornerbacks signed on this team. Let's have some of them play. I don't see us really having a big need to go out and get anybody. Plus, Jason McCourty, we tried to talk to him before the draft. He just signed with the Dolphins. And a funny one, from the Patriots to the Dolphins. So, I mean, that was before the draft. Then the draft, we just signed 2 guys. So, I think we're okay there. But if you want to go to the safety, now that I can see. We got like 4 guys. I mean, so you got Julian Love, safety. You can put him at cornerback too as well. But you got Xavier McKinney, Logan Ryan, okay, and you got Jabrill Peppers now. Jabrill Peppers is the only one who's not signed for next year. The other 3 guys we got. I hope we sign. If we let Will Hernandez go, if we let Lorenzo Carter go, we let Ingram go. Please re-sign Jabrill Peppers. Find the money. I love that guy. I love him. Love his attitude, and he's from New Jersey. He gets 2 thumbs up from me. Now, if you want to go out of your way and find somebody maybe to add a little depth to the safety department, all right, I would consider Trey Boston. Why him? Well, in 2014, he was drafted by the Panthers, and who was he drafted by? Dave Gettleman. There you go, some familiarity there, and he wouldn't cost too much, and he. In his career, he's been around for like 7, 8 years or whatever, but I mean, he has 15 interceptions. So, he's got some, he's got the experience, and he's decent. He'd be some good quality depth, and he wouldn't cost you a heck of a lot of money. So, remember that name if we're going to add somebody. Now, let's go to the middle linebackers. All right, we got the middle linebackers, then we got the edge. All right, the middle linebackers, we got like 7 guys. All right, only 3 of them are signed for next year. T.J. Brunson, Tay Crowder, Mr. Irrelevant, and Blake Martinez, okay? We did sign Reggie Ragland. We've got but he's not signed for next year. We got Devontae Downs, but he's not signed for next year. Then we got like Breland Speaks and Cale Garrett. I'm not sure if those guys are going to, see much action. Said if hopefully Reggie Ragland works out, which I would certainly be fine with, maybe extend his contract. If he, I could see. I mean, he's not going to be lighting the world on fire, but him and Martinez next to each other, I can certainly see a lot of tackles coming out of those guys. Now, if we're going to maybe, I said we got 7. If you want to go on the open market, maybe look for a couple guys, reasonably priced. One would be KJ Wright from Seattle. He's 31. He wouldn't be too expensive. Last year he had like 86 tackles, so he's a tackling machine. He had like 2.5 sacks and an interception last year. So that's somebody you can look at. And also somebody who might be a little familiar to you, B.J. Goodson, right? He played with Cleveland last year. He had 91 tackles and 2 interceptions last year. I mean, he's young. I think he's 27. He wouldn't be too expensive, and he could fit right in there, and he would be a welcome addition. If I don't know if he'd want him coming back, but if he did, he would be a welcome addition. Because he's a good tackler. Then we go to the edge rushers. Now, since we just got 2 of them in the draft, all right, we got eight of them altogether. All right, now, I get long as Azeez Ojulari and Ellerson Smith sign their contracts, their rookie contracts. We got 8 of them. There's 3 of them, okay, that we don't have signed for next year. So Lorenzo Carter, Ryan Anderson, and Trent Harris aren't signed for next year. But we got, there's, I'm sorry, wait, we got Cam Brown and Carter Coughlin, Azeez Ojulari, Ellerson Smith, Oshane, the X-Man, all right, those 5 guys we got for next year. The 3 that we don't are Lorenzo Carter, Ryan Anderson, and Trent Harris. Those 3 guys. So we have 5 guys for next year. All right. If you want to look, this will be a little touchy here since we let him go. But if you want to add in a little quality depth to the team, and if the price was right, Olivier Vernon still is out there on the market now. I don't know if he'd ever want to wind up coming back here, or I don't know if we'd ever want to have him coming back here. But he did pretty well last year. I mean, he had 9 sacks last year, and he had a grade of 70. Pro Football Focus, all right, 74.8. All right, and he's only 30 years old. I mean, if we could get him here, I don't know, if he enjoyed, because he wouldn't be on the field probably as much as he'd like to. But, he had a very good year last year. He's only 30. He has had some injury history, but, I mean, if we could get him on the cheap, you can get some sacks out of him. And talking about getting sacks comes to my next guy, who you're going to get some sacks out of, who's a little older, 32. It's Justin Houston, who had 9 sacks last year as well. His grade was from Pro Football Focus was a 63.5. So he's not, he's pretty much like, the sack specialist. I mean, if you put him on the field, you got to look for sacks. He didn't get a lot of tackles last year. So, it's not something you're going to have him on the field all the time, trying to stop the run and go for the pass and all that. He's pretty much like, especially coming up to his age, he's pretty much like pass rusher. So if it's a passing down and you need him in, you need some pressure, I'm certainly not going to say he's going to get 9 sacks for you, but he's been very consistent over the years with the amount of sacks he's gotten as long as when he stays healthy. So, you can certainly, if you sign him, put him in there on passing situations, you can certainly get 5+ sacks from him as long as he stays healthy. So, those 2 guys, you can, if you sign either one of those, you can certainly going to add some sacks to your sack total for sure, absolutely for sure. But we got 5 guys signed for next year as well. So if we don't sign anybody and we let Lorenzo Carter go, Ryan Anderson go, and Trent Harris, we still got 5. And so we got 2 third-round picks next year. We got 2 fourth-round picks next year. We got 2 first. We got a second. So we could certainly draft at least 1, if not 2, edge rushers next year to help out the defense. And I'll tell you what, guys, the defense we got, especially if we can add maybe in the free agency, maybe another 1 or maybe 2 pieces to the puzzle, boy. Keep your fingers crossed. If we can stay relatively healthy, Man, and Patrick Graham's mind, what's going? Whew, man, we're going to be a pretty good defense. I'm not going out on a limb here, all right? We're a top 10 defense, right? Long as, for the most part, majority of our guys can stay healthy. I'm not saying we're top 5. We could be, but I'm not going on a limb. We're definitely a top 10 defense, without question. And the theory of relativity, guys, all right? The offense, they're all relative. If the offense gets better, the offense is on the field, moving the ball, the clock keeps ticking, tick, 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 and our defense is on the sideline. The defense doesn't give up any points. Defense doesn't give up any rushing yards, doesn't give up any passing yards. The longer the offense is on the field, by default, the defense looks better. So if our offense can get it in gear this year, by default, our defense is going to get better. But if our offense is just as bad this year as it was last year, regardless, we got a top 10 defense. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants! Woo!